God damn it, now it's not going to be recording me. Alright, fuck.
Thank you, Nate.
I hate everything. Alright, you're good. Continue.
Are we?
Nate, Rowan asked your name, sir.
Oh, my name. I will give him my name. Beldroth Drummer.
He would drop to a knee, and he would say, "You argued on behalf of our lives, that they may be put to better use. So my life is yours to use, however you see fit."
Or you're a fucking liar.
Okay.
Well,
Huh?
let's say then stand and help me serve the children of the world.
He would incline his head, and he would as he would drape the tabard over himself once more, he would rise.
The other guy just throwing off his helmet, fucking just crawling over to Joe.
Uh,
Do I need to shut up?
the other guy's just kind of, he's just kind of sitting there with his head bowed, as he's just very not moving at all, actually.
Maybe he died from a heart attack.
Nate.
That would be something.
Nate. A sense motive. Looking for something very particular. Let me just find my sense again.
You know, is that guy still wearing his
Is that guy
helmet?
gonna kill himself?
Oh.
You think he might if he weren't such a coward. You think he's probably far too spineless to actually kill himself, as much as he may be thinking about doing so right now.
Well, they're still up on the gallows, so I'm gonna walk up there. If Rowan's on his feet and he's done doing holy business with Joe, Joe, if you got something for Flagman, I'm gonna hold a hand out to Rowan. And I'm gonna tell him friends call me 9.
Wait, you gave 9 to someone already.
Hmm?
You gave
Yeah,
9
he's,
to someone.
he's just sticking with 9 for the sake of easiness.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because that's who I am on paper now. So
Yeah, he stopped
That-
escalating like 4 introductions ago.
that's why I say friends call me 9.
Yeah. Did he have his name said?
No.
Okay.
No, he would turn, and he would clasp your hand, and he would say, "Rowan."
Now he did.
He'd say, well, yeah, Rowan already introduced himself, but
Was it when I was unconscious?
I don't know.
We talked about Rowan a lot.
It was on the road, I think.
Yeah. on the
You
right.
asked his name on the road, so you
Oh,
probably heard it
okay.
there.
Okay.
I think he asked his name once Zach was up and he was putting him,
Yeah.
tying him up.
Alrighty.
Oh, I would go to Flagman with his flag.
I'd just be telling Rowan that if you come with us, it's gonna get real exciting. Hey! I'd pat him on the chest and say, might even get your own room. I'd kind of look a little bit closer at him. I'd nod. I was deciding whether or not I'd consider him a handsome man.
I'll just pay no heed to Chris and hold my hand out to him. Rowan, was it?
Answer is yes, Chris.
Gallows party! That's where we are right now. We're just standing up there.
I'm not.
And I'll just say Vaughn for short.
he would nod, and he'd say, "My words could never atone for what was almost done
I'll
to you."
hold my hand up when he's saying it, and I'll say, "Was not your doing. Whoever the man's doing it was, I'm assuming." Then I'll look over and see the French man and say, "That was them." So I only remember the one.
I'd say, I mean, it kind of was.
He would nod, and he would say, Even if my hands were not those that tied you, those who stand idle in the face of evil, as well as commit it themselves.
Let me go and preach you.
I just say, oh, that's right. We got another one now.
I'll just give a smirk at that and start heading off to the side.
I will look to Flagman. I will offer him a hand and say, your life is yours. As soon as you help us rid us of the thing taking women here.
There'd be a slow nod, as he would say, "It seems that my life is yours."
Fuck, we got a French guy.
Damn it. Kill him.
Joe is supposed to have a French accent. I'm supposed to have an Arabic accent. Oh, we
Let me talk to you about the trade of my people.
Yeah, but we're on speakers now, so you don't even need the headphones unless you're listening to stuff.
No, I was just the music was playing there.
Oh yeah, I should have it come through the speakers. Oh,
But he would say, he would just say, yes, and it seems that my legs have failed me.
I will go to help him stand.
And as you'd almost have to pull him up, he would eventually find his feet.
I'm gonna hop off the gallows. I ain't going down those stairs. Oh fuck, I'm fatigued. It's alright, I can do it.
Roll acrobatics.
Shut up,
Take
I can do
1d6
it.
damage.
Yep, and I will help the man until he is able to keep his own feet. And I need to find my horse.
Yeah, we gotta take our horses back to the stable, then gather back at the inn, then we gotta decide what we're doing.
Yep.
Well, as and she would look to them, essentially telling them that their lives are redeemed and that they should make good use of them. She'd say, if not for, she says, if not for the sake of your souls and for the sake of your own hearts, become men that you can be proud of. And there'd be a distinct nod from Rowan, and a very, very, very faint nod from that man. And yeah, with that, you guys are off then.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta plot and scheme back at the inn.
I gotta say, it really sucks that Snape has screwed his face. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. But he fits. He fits the Alan Rickman face. He's the closest out of all of them.
Wait, what?
The
picture.
His accent. Mine's better, but
Oh.
yeah. Oh fuck. What's Oh. Well, no, you're not saying anything about it, so I'm not gonna ask. How much does this inn cost that we have all said that we're going to meet up at, but we've never met up at?
Yeah, actually.
It would be a good inn, so 2 gold,
It's
I
too
think.
cold at night.
I believe so. I believe
I
that's
mean,
the-
unless they let the saviors of the town stay for free.
I'm
Or a
gonna
discounted
pay them
price.
I'm gonna pay them so they like me. Yeah,
Yeah.
the saviors of the town minus me. I wasn't there. What are you talking about?
I was dead. Ish.
Yeah, yep, good inn, so 2 gold.
Well, I'd give them enough for 2 nights. And I'll drop a gold for meal and food. I don't know if it is that, but that's what tipping's gonna be. I invented tipping.
I'll do it for 3 nights. Because I figure we're actually going to stay there a little bit longer.
I don't.
I think we will. Maybe.
I'll give him 1 night and I'll pay him again tomorrow if we stay.
I like my room being guaranteed.
And for 2 nights.
3 nights still.
Oh, is it over there? Oh, you left your brisket over there. Okay. Oh, was the window not open? No. Oh, what the fuck? Baby open. Yeah, bitch open. Alright. So, do we just want to say that we're sitting down eating?
Yeah, sit down.
Okay. Because I do have a plan.
I would say grace.
I would ignore it and talk
I
to
would
Chris if Chris is saying something.
I would start my plan, start saying okay, and then you'd say grace,
Yep.
and then I'd wait.
I would just cut Joe off. I'm sure you're not going to stop and just say, okay, so what do you want? To
I'd
Chris.
wait.
Mm.
I want him to be able to respond. So whenever Joe's done thanking God for this food that these people made for us.
Yeah.
That we bought.
God gave them the tools and the knowledge.
Yeah,
to
they
create.
did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, God raised them and gave them a hoe and said, get to fucking work.
Get the fucking bitches.
So that way we could have a good meal.
I like how I feel like I'm in a squad of my own.
Oh, I never squad Chris.
Oh yeah, you are moved over one, Joe. If you move over one more to the left, then it's evenly spaced.
Wait, what?
There we go. That's what followers do. I'd say that seeing as our numbers have increased to this point, I'd say we'd be better off taking advantage of that. I'd say we could probably split off into 2 to 4 groups, keeping an eye on possible targets of who might be taken next. And I'd say to the Rowan and
Guy 2.
did you not get his name?
I don't think we did.
I don't think any of us did.
Joe got his name on the way back. What's his name, Nate?
Gammon.
Yemen. Thank you.
Yemen.
Yemen or Yemen?
Damn it.
Yemen. Yemen.
All right. Okay. I would explain to Gammon and Rowan that we discovered that, and I'd keep this low, that it's likely that the fairer women are being targeted.
I would say, oh, so that's why you were looking at the talisman cellar.
You perceive that?
Alright, I was standing next to Chris. I'm sure I could see him just looking at her, staring at her for a few seconds.
I'd look at you for a moment, Stefanos, I'd say, yes! Right! And I'm actually bluffing because you're correct. So, I'm bluffing.
You're bluffing to give me the correct opinion. Okay. You're okay. Good job, Chris.
I'm bluffing so to make it seem like no, I was just oogling her.
Okay.
Sense it, yo. Sense it, Stefanos.
I can't.
You
I-
actually.
My mod isn't high enough.
Okay, but yes, let's see. Yes, you're right. And yes, and I'd say so. What? He disappeared. He died. Gammon's gone. Oh, he's got face. Oh, that's definitely a guy who's gonna die face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He looks like this guy I work with is a total fucking douchebag.
Right. So I would ask. Actually, I'd say that. Actually, I'm gonna do another bluff, and I'd say that I may have my bodyguard go out in my place. Said, "Where's a real creepy mask?" That's a lie. And I'd say, "What groups does everyone think we should split off into?"
I'm counting how many there are. There's 6 of us, so 7?
Say
Who's the
No,
7?
7 of
What-
us.
What's Hugh's name again, Joe?
Gammon.
No, Hughes.
Use?
Joe the Dragon.
Beldroth?
Beldroth.
Beldroth, right. Well, Beldroth took charge of you two, so you should probably stay together.
Oh wait, is the Paladin lady still here?
Yep, she's not sitting, she's kind of standing off to the side.
She's part of our squad.
I'll look to 9, or whatever your name. I don't remember how I named it, so I'll look to 9.
Yeah, 9. That's right.
How about me? Your bodyguard? Fuck, what's that name? Vaughn? And... And... That makes 2 groups of 3. I'm looking at her. Did we get her name? Did she ever introduce herself?
I think she did.
She did, but I did not write it down.
Did I? I did not.
Do you remember, Nate? If she did? Because I don't think she did.
I don't think she did.
Yeah, I think
You talked to her, and then you guys parted ways, and then suddenly it was like, your companion is going to be burnt alive.
So 2 groups of 3, and you miss.
She'd say, she'd look to you, and she would say, Christina.
Miss
Christina.
Christina. You could pick whichever one you want to. Which group to go with. I don't
I'd
know.
nod and say, or if we wanted to cover more ground, we could do 2 groups of 2 and a group of 3. Christina.
She would, she'd look to the. She'd look around, and she would say, I do not mind who I go with. In fact, she'd look at the numbers, and she would say, if it suits you, I can handle myself alone as well.
I would shake my head. I'd say that the word you used before, enchantress, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd actually say that. Say, if there's any chance of that happening to one of us, another one of us should be there.
She would nod and say, a wise precaution.
Out of character, honestly, Joe's probably stronger than the rest of the party, so.
Yeah, we can metagame.
Like, put together.
Yeah,
Originally,
metagame.
I was gonna say groups of 2.
Yeah.
And then
That's what I was. That's what I had. What is it? Kind of spat out there was we could do 2 groups of 2 and a group of 3.
Yeah, that's about where I am.
Yeah, but then 2 groups are gonna get the guards, and they're not that good in combat if something happens.
Yeah, that's why we put them with Joe, and then we just,
that's true.
We just split me, you, Zach, and Lady up into 2 groups. So, what are you thinking, Zach?
Mask buddies.
Ooh, okay.
It'd probably be
Business
easier to
buddies.
go around with 2 masks.
Yeah, and if you go with Paladin Lady, you could definitely help her out.
On top of that, she'd be able to protect the shit out of you better than we could.
Yeah, that's actually true.
you feel.
I can heal as long as no one can detect evil.
Even if they do, it doesn't matter. Well, I'd say that, I'd point at you, Vaughn. I'd say my friend likes to wear a mask like you. How about you go out with him? And I'd
Tried
say...
to point back in, so I'd very much like to meet this man. He sounds like quite the interesting fella. Give you
yeah,
a smile.
I got a bluff again.
Yeah, I could probably.
Every time I hide it, I have to bluff. It sucks.
You got a 12 to blow. 13 now.
I know. And I guess I will... Do you want to propose hanging out with Paladin Lady, Stefanos, or you want me to just throw it out there?
You throw it out there.
Okay. I'd say, I think she could keep you safer than us. Or than anyone else here. And... Well, actually, no. Before that, I'd say, I think it's only... I think I'd say that I think those 2 men would see fit to go with you.
I'd nod and say they've been pardoned, but I imagine there will be some animosity there. Perhaps soon we will help relieve some of that.
I'd say it's compound. I like it. And I'd look at you, Stefanos, and I'd say I think she could protect you quite well.
Do you want me to give her the kid with Harry, Stefanos?
Yes. No, don't do that.
Should give her some. What is it? One of those little wands that has a fuzzball on the end, on a string.
Bust up into our groups quick.
A
Boom.
Moogle.
Sup, bud?
That's how I like it. Zach on top of me.
Yes! Let's go! Oh, you're over there now.
Oh, Chris, you're a little close. I don't mind, but I mean, everyone else has at least a little bit apart. Yeah. Oh jeez.
Yeah, that's perfect, Stefanos.
Kajit has wares if you have coin.
Anyway, okay, so that's the groups you're gonna head out in.
I'd say, should we start tonight? Or should
Uh,
I? Yeah. Yeah.
Late in the day, is it?
Should we start tonight?
I will think for a moment. Can I recall when the last kidnapping happened from what I've remembered from earlier? I think we got that information.
We also haven't heard if any have had in the week
Yeah.
that we.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you hadn't asked about any like new ones. The last time you heard was a week ago back in Camelot. And shit, what?
I'm trying to remember when the frequency was. Was it like once every week or once every other week?
Roughly once a week.
Yeah. Well, once every like 7 to 9 days, or 8 to 9 days. That's what it was. So we could estimate that the last one was last week, and
For another one.
It's due.
maybe.
Especially because plot reasons.
I'll look around and I'll say, well, considering our condition, it might be a little better to rest up beforehand.
I would not.
And no spells.
As much as I would like to get right on this. I don't know how you all fared in the fight, other than a little roughed up, if not more so. And I would look to Joe and I would say, are you still able to do your hold up my hands and just kind of wave him a hand thing?
Out of character. What's your health at?
Mine's 33. I'm not saying it's for me. I'm just saying in general for anybody who will need it. But I have 33.
Okay. What's your cap?
50.
Okay. That was my plan to dispense healing. I would say if there's anyone that requires healing, I can provide it.
Give a nod. And say I'll let the others get it before I take my turn.
I was left rather battered after the battle. If you are...
Yeah, by the light of God.
As he just very, very tentatively seems to be like,
It was you, but I would like it.
I'm allowed to say something too, right? Right? Yes? Maybe?
No, NPCs need to raise their hands to speak.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up, Gammon.
Healing for Jesus.
That's all you get, Gammon.
That's probably all he needs.
You salty piece of shit.
You hit him like.
You hit him like 4 rounds of that 2d6.
He's back to half health.
Yeah.
You can have another 2. These are my Oracle lay on hand things.
I just imagine every time you used to lay on hands for each one, you're just doing like a patty cake thing. Each one
I
you
like
get to
to
lay on
also
hands.
think that I keep my hand on for the 2 rounds to do it.
Yep,
I
he
refuse.
This is good too.
after that last one, he appears fully healed.
God, and I look around to anyone else looking to impose on Jesus for healing.
Anybody else take the offer?
No, I gotta abstain, otherwise I have to lie.
Give me a second.
I'm not hurt, but the only thing I can say is I wasn't there. I was.
Stefanos, are you going to
My
it?
horse earlier. Oh man.
Nope, not me.
I would take a nod and I would walk towards you. And I would say please if you could.
I'm just gonna go infernal myself up later.
Ah, sorry. You would get one more of these 6.
One more?
Because I
Oh,
only have
shit.
one more Oracle one, and that's 2d6. Then I have 2 Paladin ones, which are 3d6. So,
Okay.
21
Damn.
health.
I don't think I needed all of that, but that's okay.
I got 1 Paladin one left.
I give you a smile, stretch some more, and say much better. Thank you.
Rowan, you cool?
Rowan, are you gonna ask him that?
No, not really.
Okay, because he does not speak up.
But, actually, Rowan got cracked by that shit. I would ask Rowan. So he's been quiet.
He says, the healing you gave me earlier would suffice. He says any lingering pain is mine to bear.
Get the fuck out of him.
Wait, what'd you say?
I was thinking of how to word things.
Too bad, Jesus.
Just put your hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And then heal him.
I'd put a hand on his shoulder and say I understand.
Feel the power of Jesus flowing through you.
And I would have a faint smile.
Teethy grin.
A smile would touch his lips as well as he inclines his head in gratitude, and he would even say, "Gratitude, Sir Beldroth."
Towards where my bed is. Upstairs. Yep. I'd look upstairs towards the stairs, you know.
In the ceiling. I'm looking at the ceiling.
I'd say we'll probably have an early day then. Upstairs.
Yep, that's where I'm going to.
Where your bodyguard's staying.
No, I paid for the room. That's where I'm staying.
Yeah, but you invited him in. He'll just be coming out tomorrow.
Not exactly.
Hey, Chris is gonna duck out a window or some shit.
I do plan on doing some skullduggery tonight after my 2-hour nap.
I would just go up to my room after all this is had, after food and drinks. I take my sleep for the night.
Yep, me too. I'm hitting myself with an infernal healing to top myself off. You're right, it's not.
It's not evil.
Doing the sleeps.
Okay.
What floor are we on? Second or?
Second floor. Yep.
Does that?
15 feet.
By the way, I gotta take non-lethal damage if I'm going out the window. So I won't.
You can try to climb down.
No.
Can you acrobatics it?
No, either way. Well, yeah, I could ignore up to how many feet of it? 10, yeah. Well,
Okay,
then
then
would
la-
just be 5 feet left, and that's not enough to take damage.
Correct.
Ooh. I guess I could hop out the window, but then, you know, I want to be seen coming back in, so I'm not climbing back through the window, so. Alright, yeah, whenever I get my 2-hour nap, I'm going to head back out when it's very dark. Not the window, I'm not worried about that. No. Just going out the front door, normal.
Actually, I'm going to, I'm just going to walk around the city for the night. I'm going to use an arcane pool, get keep watch, and go around the city seeing if anything's happening after dark. Huh?
So get keep.
I got fast study,
Okay, you should make sure you emphasize that.
or quick study.
Yeah.
Higher expectations for you to come.
Yeah. Just give me like 10 levels.
Okay. So sleeps are had by the groups, except for Stefanos, who's going to keep watch and then walk.
Yeah. So Stefanos got 2 hours on me. So I am going to go, let me think. Actually, if we go to sleep right now, what time is it in 2 hours?
In 2 hours, if you went to sleep at this exact moment, 9 o'clock.
Shit.
I'm gonna go hang out at that talisman shop. Just myself. Just being me. If it's open.
It would be.
Okay.
What's going on after it gets to the point where everyone goes to bed? Or most people, at least.
Just in town, or?
Yeah, pretty much just wandering around to see if there's any, I don't know, anything suspicious.
I'll be doing that whenever she closes up shop, so I'll be with you. Not physically, but I'll be doing the same.
Yep. Well, you would see plenty of people, kind of, everyone's talking about how the those holy men got defeated, and 2 of them were brought back to hang, but it seems
Also,
they were.
Catful. Anyway.
There you go. Yep. Seems they were people were talking about how they were brought back to hang, and a couple people saying, think everyone seems to be pretty surprised that they didn't. But, seems like they were argued for pretty heavily. And let's see here. A lot of people are, you can hear people talking about the last couple, that apparently more and more girls have been disappearing in the last week. Seems the numbers have escalated a bit.
Did they have a description or location as to where it happened?
Nope. Everyone's just like, they're just fucking gone. More and more girls are just gone.
It could also just be a fucking rumor and they're just exaggerating.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone is convinced that there's got to be so that someone's going to vanish tonight.
Oh.
They're just like,
Interrogate that guy.
Yes, the cat walks up. Tell me more.
It's like, you seem oddly convinced.
No, you jump up on the barrel while they're still talking. They're just like, oh. And then while you're listening to them, and then you say, no, I don't plan on taking anyone tonight.
Oh my god.
You just tilt your head and walk off. Satan!
Just wait for the rumors tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tilt
I'm not
your
going to, but I want to. Next time.
No, it's like you tilt your kitty cat head, you narrow your eyes, and then just smile so that your canines are poking out. Fucking cat smile.
I'm gonna give you a bluff and a charisma, Nate.
Okay.
The bluff is to not, I'm there, I'm at the shop and I'm shopping around, but I'm not really there shopping, and then the charisma is just flirting, chatting, running out the clock.
Understood.
And I am going to, if I find someone else who seems like they might be taken, like someone pretty like that,
Yeah, if you find
I'm going to tail them. I'm going to tail them pretty much. With my
Okay.
tail.
Yep, just that's the talisman chick.
Yep. He's in Chris's party.
Yeah.
As well, give me a perception, Stefanos.
Oh, bam.
Okay, you'd find one or two girls that look pretty enough that they might get snatched.
What are they out doing? Like, how late is it at this time?
They whoring.
One of them appears to be trying to ply a trade. The other appears to be coming back from the harbor with what appears to be a basket full of nets and stuff.
If prostitutes were missing, you'd fucking know.
You'd know, it's the other one.
Yep. Just follow her.
Okay. Noticeably, or trying to be stealthy about it?
Cat.
Probably should have stopped.
I am a cat, but I'll be stealthy regardless. Hold on, let me roll up my wizard stealth.
Also, you're a tiny creature now?
Hold on, let me roll up my wizard stealth.
But you're tiny, that gives you a bonus to stealth.
Yes, it does, Chris.
Sorry, +8.
Yeah. Small
Yeah.
get like a +4.
Chris,
So.
that's my mod.
Yeah, that's good. That's really fucking good.
Okay.
I know.
You'd
I
be
got
able to
max
tail her.
rank.
I don't
I'm not
think
going to rank, never mind.
Yep, you'd be able to tail her back home.
I imagine she looks behind you. That fucking cat is following me!
As she would get to home, she appears to be a kind of a small house, little ways off from the harbor. She would pretty much go. She'd go inside, and there'd be. She'd say, "I'm home." She'd apparently call out to her brother, whom it seems she lives with. And inside, if you would, basically make your way up to the house to continue your observations.
Yep.
You can hear her complaining about how the nets, a couple of the nets got ripped again. And she's going to need some help if they're going to be tended to before the morning. And you can hear a young man in the house just kind of laugh and comment on the fact that he's like, well, I didn't want to go drinking tonight anyway. Love you, dear sister of mine. And they, by the sounds and appearances, they get to trying to tend to the nets.
Now, all these disappearances, were they all people who were off alone? No one really seems to have said anything about someone.
No one knows. These women are just gone.
But, like, no one has said, yeah, I was with her a second ago and then she was gone.
Yeah.
Nobody's spoken up, so you could probably rule out relatives, maybe. Or she fucking creates a fucking null time zone, or she gets them to wander out of town on their own volition, sneakily. Who knows?
Boobs, yo.
That's true.
We don't know fucking anything.
I'm just here to cast Smite Evil and hit bitches with a hammer.
I'm gonna detect magic and just look around, see if there's any auras or anything lingering.
Okay, you do not detect any.
Okay, I'll just chill out next to the door or window, wherever I'm sitting, and just wait, see what happens.
Okay. Well, they would be at that for a few hours. Chris, the time of chatting and flirting would go by. As she'd be...
She'd regretfully have to throw me out of her shop.
And into her bed.
Yeah.
I'm a gentleman.
No. She'd offer you several charms and whatnot during the... She'd offer you a charm to woo the ladies, though she comments that by the looks of it, you don't need one.
I agree.
Something about fertility.
As she'd laugh. And she would also claim she'd offer to sell you one that she claims she says, in case you're one to avoid attachment, she'd hold one up and say, place this one on your abdomen, and she'd say, and it'll still your seed.
I don't know, let me do a little demonstration.
Thinking about something. Thinking about the best response.
Well, I don't think that's true. Maybe you can give me a more hands-on. I want to have a phrase sample.
Heyo.
Best prostitute.
I would just say that would encourage bad manners.
She'd kind of bow her head a little and say, a gentleman, then.
I'd say born and bred. That could be a lie, but I didn't really make a backstory, so.
She'd kind of give you a glance and She'd say, she'd say, really now?
Oh, she does want it. Okay. Stefanos, she's into cats because I'm technically a cat.
Damn.
You get sloppy seconds, yo.
It's fucking great because everything I would want to ask about, you know, do you live nearby? I could walk you home. None of them have to do with fucking her, but that's exactly what she would think. It's the greatest bluff.
As Chris is just defeated.
Yeah. Well. I'll sense a motive. Has she expressed the interest? If she has a wedding ring, that makes this even more difficult.
She does not. She has no ring upon her fingers. Where she doesn't appear to be trying to like throw the hook out there. You get the impression she wouldn't be hard to convince.
Ah, okay. No, that's better. All right. How close is it to closing time? Or wouldn't I know?
It's always open.
Well,
Zach.
it has begun to grow dark, and she would seem to be glancing out the window or glancing toward the windows a little bit more frequently as it gets darker and darker. So it seems like most shops that aren't into the that aren't taverns and the like probably are going to be closing up soon if they wouldn't have closed up already.
Does this place have a second floor where somebody could possibly be living?
It does have a second floor, yes. As far as whether someone could be living there, you haven't been up there. But
True enough. I would ask, you live upstairs?
she'd nod and she'd say, I do. Though the shop will be open for a little ways yet. At least until the she says at least until the less gentlemanly come by to purchase my wares, motioning to the aforementioned talisman.
Good nod. Yeah. Sorry. My face when I go through my ideas in my head. It's great. And all my compound lies. Very openly, not doing a bluff for this. This is a joke, but I'd say, oh, good. I thought I would have to put myself in danger to escort a young lady home in these dangerous times.
She'd laugh at that.
Wait, no, I do need to bluff because that was my intent, don't I, Nate? It's compound, Nate.
It is.
Bluff.
No, she'd laugh at that. And she'd say, would consider myself lucky to be escorted by such a gentleman.
Oh damn, she's pretty, Chris.
Well, at this point, since she lives right upstairs, I'm about to because I've already slept, so I could wake up and then just kind of keep an eye on the fucking place, you know, and make sure there's nobody up there waiting for her. Because I know you're gonna do that, Nate. So I'd say, roll a charisma. I'd say that I still can. I suppose I still can. And I'd look like I'm counting the number of steps. Ooh, bomb. It's alright. Maybe I've already improved the circumstances.
She'd kind of smile at that, giving you a sidelong look. And she'd say,
Should have bluffed to play it off as cute.
and
That's just charisma.
she'd just kind of smile at that as she actually starts walking over the door and she goes, perhaps they can deal with the consequences of their actions for one night.
Oh, the less gentlemanly.
As she'd walk over and close the door. And turning around, she'd look to you,
It's a hot dog in a bun.
and this is it? Looks kind of like a shoe to me.
I don't need your opinion on my artwork. It's how I picture it. I will sell it for millions. What are you, you uncultured swine?
You sound
Anyway.
distant, Zach.
It's because I don't have the mic next to my mouth because I'm eating pretzels, and you don't need to hear that.
Ah, good call. Well, mate.
Yeah. You escort her up to her bed and throw her
Yes.
into the arms of passion.
I have a healthy amount of weapons on me, though, so I'd have to take them off so she'd see that I had all those weapons on me.
Maybe that's her kink.
The fucking axe, the sword, the sap, the daggers, and the fucking claws.
Well, you would see a longsword above her bed.
There you go.
Can you match this?
So, like, and it's not on a sword plaque. It's quite literally there's like hooks coming out of the wall, and the sheath is just resting so that it could be drawn from there.
So she doesn't give my fucking array of weapons too much thought.
She does give it a look over, and she would jokingly she would jokingly ask,
Great.
Uh,
Can't read it. Nah.
she'd say, you got a bastard sword in there too.
Let's just pretend I didn't do the fucking Tekokagi yet, and I'd have those come out.
Hold on, still going.
Yep. I'd pop those out, put them down, and I'd check. I'd say I might. Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Perhaps you can check on me.
I-
What Joe say?
While role-playing, I will always avoid sword dick puns. They're not cute, they're not funny, but I would fail to find a bastard sword.
Well, she would begin kind of counting in a sing-song voice as you deposit more and more of your weapons.
Yep, just 7. Thank you. We're still on the sword as my dick pun. Yeah. Once that's all done, yeah, get to it.
Yep. And she would accept your hot passion.
Wait, did she get the thing that stops the seed?
No. Look, that thing, I like the idea of it, but it's just like, you know, if you don't tell them, it's just like, no, I have this magical belt, and I can definitely come inside you. Trust me. No, that's not good. Because then they'll be like, oh, I heard about, yeah, your friend got that. Yeah, I got his. No, you didn't. So yeah.
There you go.
I would like to pull up a video, but I cannot.
Anyway,
Yeah. Whenever that is done and she is fast asleep, if I can slip out, I will try to. If I can't, God knows I don't fucking want to.
she seems the cuddling type.
Looks like I'm sleeping here tonight.
You sound uber disappointed.
Huh? No. Not disappointed at all.
I was sarcastic.
Oh. Yeah, gotcha.
This is emotional.
There we go. Sleeping here.
Yep.
How best to keep an eye on her. And if she disappears, I will have fucking proof. I'll be a witness.
Do it.
Wait.
Okay.
I will try to stay awake. I will actually. Yeah, I'll stay awake. I'm awake.
Just laying in bed, enjoying the feel of her flesh against yours. Alright. And you chilling on your windowsill, Stefanos?
Yep.
Yeah. You'd have one or two cats kind of make their way up to you and start snipping you.
You should
You're
hiss at him.
gonna get fucked.
No, he's going to eat. He's going to fuck.
There you go, Stefanos. You got your night of passion.
Thank you, Zach.
Then both the pussies
Not
in
the
the party
direction I
got,
was.
Then both the pussies got pussy in the party.
Not the direction I was going for that, but yeah.
I like
Alright.
to think that you would just push them off, but they might actually.
They come up and start rubbing their butt on you, because that's what they do when they're in heat.
Yeah, they might fight you. So.
Yeah, fight the PC. The cat.
Yeah.
That'll end. Well, it'll end.
Yeah. So we got half an hour left. Do we want to resume the search for the Enchantress tomorrow?
That'd be a good.
Not tomorrow,
Not
sorry.
tomorrow, next time.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday that we do it? I can't remember now.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are voting to hold off on here?
Is anything going to happen in a half hour?
Wake up and start.
Something was going to happen,
We can
so
do that.
Oh, let's do it.
I mean, depends on how far you wanted to go with that, but alright.
I continue what I'm doing.
Sleeping.
Okay. You have my sympathy, Zach.
What? Oh. Yeah, they're done already.
I know-
Just
I
from
know.
a few air bubbles.
No, Nate's cursed with the inability to cure them himself.
Yeah, when I get
Suck.
pickups, they last for hours.
That would fucking suck. I couldn't do that. I sympathize.
Okay. Well, as the night would go, Stefanos, the two would eventually call it a night, and they would both go to bed. Would you remain on their windowsill?
Is there another windowsill? With the view of the bedroom or no?
They do. It's a one-room place, a little small.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good then.
It's a shanty.
Okay.
You could try to sneak into their place.
Mm.
Because you can see inside of their building. So you could arcane pull your shit in there with dimensional slot.
I totally could, but why?
Because
That way
that'll
you can
probably
see them.
fuck up your keep watch.
Yeah, I can cast it again, but
Mainly you'd be in the room like Chris is, so if something were to happen, you can see it.
if something's gonna happen, first I can't do shit.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's a window. I can already see it.
He's good.
Okay. Well, about the time midnight rolls around, moon is high.
Get my perception roll.
Chris,
Yep.
Perceptione. You would get the feeling that something's off,
Like your
but
clothes.
you couldn't quite place it. Like
I'd sit up.
you would not be the only one. As she would suddenly sit up,
Did I find the Enchantress disguised?
and she would proceed to rise from her bed and begin walking toward her door.
You did it.
Hmm.
I would say, oh fuck. I'm gonna put on small clothes, grab my chain shirt and my axe.
So I just imagine like
Yep, just like vest, fucking.
undergarments.
I can't bring my shoes. Fuck
Bring your
shit.
short sword.
I've already got my fucking underwear thingies on.
And you got your short sword.
Yeah,
And it's sheathed.
my small pants, vest, battle axe, and I'm just picking up my chain shirt, Nate. I will try to put it on as she is walking.
Yep.
That
She's
might-
walking at a somewhat subdued pace as she seems to drag the sheet off the bed with her, kind of lazily wrapping it about herself.
Did I get her name?
Um,
Such a gentleman.
her name is Abigail.
Thank you, Nate. I just, hey, Abby, please. I wouldn't be able to grab her yet. Or actually, I would have tried to if she was getting out of bed.
Abby, you gotta grab the gun, Abby.
You would have tried to?
Yeah.
Well, suddenly, rising, she didn't do so very, like, lightning fast, so...
Okay, gotcha. Yep, okay, so... Whoop, hop it back. Yeah, she would have had the fucking far-off look in her eye, just fucking in a trance, looks like.
Yeah, almost as if sleepwalking.
Yep, I'd
Very, very blissful expression upon her face.
Yep, I'd call out her name a couple of times, just kind of grab her arm.
She paused for a moment, just seeming to look toward you, and you just hear a... Huh? Just smiling.
I'm gonna...
Since notice she's under enchantment.
Oh, is that a thing I could do?
Yeah. DC is, but what is the thing?
It is like the highest sense motive DC, but let me check real quick.
Depends on what kind it is.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
Sense enchantment is DC 25.
Or 15.
But so if it's a dominate person kind of thing, it's only 15 because of the limited range of their target's activities.
Yeah, it's probably the 25 one.
Okay. You'd be able to tell that she appears to be ensourced by something. What? You're not entirely sure. But she does appear to be under some sort of enchantment.
I will shake her. I could follow her to the person, but the chances of me getting her away from that person at that point are low.
You can just get a direction.
As you'd shake her, she'd very kind of lazily just shake back and forth, as she doesn't appear to respond too much from it, but then after a moment tries to continue to rise to continue her path.
Alright, gonna give her light slap, Nate.
On the buttocks.
No,
You got sap, yo.
I'm not doing that.
Give her a light slap.
Yep.
She lets out a light gasp, and after a moment, turns back to look at you. Her face still blissful and gleeful.
Ooh, Nate
Still blissfully
Nate
gleeful.
wants me to see. Wants me to see it. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna try and... It seems like she's going towards the door.
Yep.
I'm gonna do what I can to pick up my things and be standing in front of the door, putting on at least my chain shirt with my axe and my vest. Can I position myself there to block her?
You could get to there before her.
She's gonna push.
Pretty sure putting on a chain shirt.
Oh no, I'm not putting it on.
Okay,
No.
okay.
I'm doing that on the way.
Understood. You would be able to block her as she kind of bumps into you, seeming to rest against your chest, as she seems to breathe in deeply, and she says, "Doesn't it sound wonderful?"
I just mumble, I can't say it does. I'm gonna be putting on my chain shirt now.
At this point, she's just kind of pressing into your chest.
Yep, okay.
Just kind of half leaning against you.
Alright, well, is my chain shirt on?
You would be able to get it on.
Yep.
So after about the time you'd be getting it over your head, she's kind of like trying to look to either side of you, just seeming to lazily try to find a path past you. But
Tell me she looks towards the window.
she does not.
Well, I will keep blocking her. And I'm gonna keep trying to, just like shake her a bit, calling out to her.
As she,
Maybe it'll wear off.
the gleeful expression turns to confusion as she says, "We have to go. Come on." She says, "Don't you want to dance? It sounds so pleasant."
I'm going to say fucking hell. I'm gonna go grab my. I'm gonna let her go and go grab my short sword and my sap.
Pull some random guy out.
And I'm.
Look at these people.
Yep, I'm gonna. Yep, and then I'm following, but trying to stay like. I'm trying to stay beside in front. Just trying to be ahead of her, sort of.
Yep. Well, as she would hit the streets, you would see her begin to somewhat hop and kind of almost skip. Not quite skip, but like almost like dancing through the night.
Looking for guards.
As
And
she
I don't
would-
know if I'm on the way, but
As
you
she
tell me
would-
if I can see it.
You're closer to the harbor, he's closer to the wall. So, he would not be on the way. But you would see her actually seeming to duck and move toward the areas of lower light and dark areas where the buildings are creating shadow.
Nay, I grabbed my cloak.
Okay.
Okay, I got my cloak now, so I can go whoosh if I need to. Alright. Well, yeah, I just say fucking really? I just following just bad magic. Just looking around for people, Nate. Following,
Okay.
looking around for people.
I have cat ears.
Surprisingly, you wouldn't see any.
Well,
How big is the town?
yeah, this is weird. Alright, she's doing magic stuff to the fucking district. Fucking hell.
That's why nobody's seen it.
Yeah,
Except you!
yeah, I know. That's what I get for getting that puss.
Plus,
Thinking. Alright.
bonus to defending the
Nate, how big is the town?
It's a small town, probably about...
Is it a small city or a large town? Because I feel like that's what it was in your head between.
Pathfinder settlements.
Metropolis.
I don't even think Camelot's Metropolis.
No, it's not.
Okay, it would probably be just yeah, it'd probably be a large town.
If Chris shouted to
That'll
see
be-
if any of us could hear him, do you think I would?
Nah, probably not.
I know, it seems pretty still.
I don't know, I got a plus 13 perception on my Raven.
Well, I'm not calling out to anyone, so.
Yeah, well, it was an idea.
Yep. Well, I know the plan is that if I see that woman in the distance, Nate, I'm probably going to fucking.
Grab her and have her dance in the other direction.
No, I'm gonna knock her out. So that way, if you want this person, you gotta drag her body off.
Oh. As you would,
And it will be against her flat-footed, so it'll be sneak attack as well.
as you'd continue following, you would reach the gates.
No guards?
The guards appear to be standing, as if in
Oh.
a stupor.
I knew it! I'd call out to them and say, hey, hey!
Don't appear to notice you.
I just shake my head. Still following. You let me know when it gets dark, and then I'm gonna turn on my fucking eyes. Until then, I got my legs turned on.
Okay. Well, the moon is out and it is bright, so maintains low light conditions the whole way.
Got one more. I'm gonna make her my study target. This is gonna help knock her out sooner. I promise.
Also, let you track her if you lose her.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, you're right!
Okay, well, as you'd follow her, she'd make her way kind of up. She'd make her way out the town and around, so as to, like, water, town, out in this way.
Okay.
To which you would after a few minutes walking around the town, you would come upon a point where the land kind of does this, and there's another piece of land with a bridge.
I fucking am. Jesus Christ.
Don't die out there.
I
A little scary.
shoot. Well, we're going, Nate. Is there somebody waiting on that bridge?
Perception.
Turn that slab of puss.
There you go.
Percy Jackson.
You don't see any.
Oh my god.
But as you'd cross it, she'd kind of be swaying and kind of dancing, kind of brushing her fingers along the ropes.
I will be holding one of her hands and sapping the other.
Yep. At that point, she actually just essentially forsakes the sheet, just letting it fall as she continues on her way.
Yep.
And as you cross the bridge, you'd make it kind of up a rise, similar to kind of how the incline came up from the water to where you guys fought the knights,
Yes.
men of cloth.
Yep.
As you'd be making your way up, you'd hit a level off, where you'd hear her start to hum, and you'd hear her start saying the words, "I'm almost there, my lady,
Yep.
my mistress." As her feet start, the rhythm she starts dancing to starts to catch a more feverish tone.
Yep. Still trying to keep a hold of her, so.
Yep, you'd be able to. And as she'd continue moving, a shape would become visible ahead.
You're gonna knock her out, you do it now.
What appears to be a crouched shape.
Yeah, that's the problem. But it is the only shape out here, so Nate, I guess it's gonna happen.
Oh god, it's a wolf.
Well, it's going against her flat-footed. Do you want me to roll an attack? Because she's not helpless.
Yeah, go for it.
Study target. Study target. Yeah. Jam.
Oh!
I may have knocked her the fuck out.
No, hold on. Crits are critical successes. It's not like you accidentally fucking
Oh no, this is
slaughter her.
an attack.
This is an
for
attack.
Yeah, this is an attack for non-lethal damage with my sap. I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not doing the act of knocking her out. No. It's an attack. Well,
I mean, your intent is to do it. You're not gonna accidentally kill her because you did it too well.
Oh yeah, because if non-lethal gets past a certain point.
Yeah.
You can keep a brain damage.
Is that true, Nate?
Yeah,
Um,
it's a high point.
I'm trying to remember it.
It's
I think
double
you have-
health.
Yeah. Because you do
But
more
he
than
rolled a
double.
20. That is a critical success. He's not gonna accidentally kill her. Like,
Yeah, no, we know that.
no matter what his damage is, he did
Roll the
best.
crit. I want to see it.
Oh my god, that actually fuck up.
I want to see you slap the shit out of that bitch.
Steady target plus.
Well, he'd have to do double her max hit points, and then the damage that exceeds that would transfer into lethal. So
I mean, if
effect-
she's a villager and her max hit points are like 6, then that's not hard.
but then he'd effectively have to do triple her max to get her to 0.
That might happen.
That's what I'm saying. If her max is like 6 because she's a
Steady target.
CR 1/4 villager, that's not hard. That's like one of Joe's normal hits. Yeah, okay.
Oh, here's non-lethal. Oh, thank God. Thank God it was low.
Okay. Well, as you crack her with the sap,
Yeah,
she lets out an ow and stumbles forward, kind of spinning around, her face confused.
Damn.
She's still conscious?
Get a picture.
Oh yeah.
But she's looking at you. Does she still look blissful, I wonder?
She looks confused and kind of angry.
I'd let go of the one hand.
As she's kind of rubbed, like one hand goes up to where the one you weren't grabbing is just trying to touch where you smacked her.
Let me do a quick sense, as I would fucking
See if she's still enchanted.
Have to be looked ensorcelled.
What? Get the fuck out! She didn't ensorcel me. She knows. Nate, does she? Oh, does she look ensorcelled still, Nate?
She seems
20 roll.
right, actually. She seems to have, as you inflicted the pain upon her, and she kind of blinks for a moment. You can see her fighting it as she proceeds to break the enchantment.
Ah. Yep. I'd be calling out. I'd say, Abby, are you back?
She'd kind of blink for a moment, and she'd look at you.
The sap is dropped, and I've got my hands up. I'm like sort of dressed.
Yep. She'd kind of look. She just looks down for a moment, looks around, and just says, "How did?" And then her eyes open wide.
Yeah. I'd be looking past her, Nate.
Yep. She'd immediately. You see her reach for her hip as she whirls around.
Who whirls around? Abby?
Abby.
Okay. Oh,
But
God,
then-
she doesn't think I'm the one who's kidnapping people.
But then,
Good.
But then she kind of reaches for her hip and whirls around. But then kind of pats at her hip like, "Oh yeah, nothing."
That's a lot of nice skin.
Is the person who's crouching not crouching anymore?
Nope. They still appear to be crouching. They don't appear to have noticed you two even.
I'd say, yeah, no, I'd say go back to town, and I'd be giving her my cloak.
She'd just kind of look at you for a moment, and she'd nod, and she'd say, she'd ask if you're going to be all right.
I'd look past her and say, I don't think I'm gonna stick around too long. I'm gonna fucking get ensorcelled.
She'd kind of,
That will save.
she'd grip your arm for a moment, and then walk past you.
I gotta see if I can study the target. I don't think it has a range.
Yep. The figure is some distance away still, so.
Well, I would
But-
get close enough to study the target, Nate. There's no
Okay.
range. I just need to see them,
Well,
and I do see
I
them.
I forget. You have low light or dark?
I have low light. If I need dark, I will have dark.
Okay.
Everything.
Well, as you'd get close, you would recognize the figure.
It's your father.
Ah, what?
It's the priest we just killed.
As she appears to be kind of squatted down, staring at the dirt.
Oh,
Nope,
you're
nope.
helping.
Though as you approach, she'd whirl around real fast, her hand kind of flying up into something of a casting position.
I will go. Ah! A little bit more happy. It's like, ah!
Do I know you?
Her eyes would narrow for a moment, and she'd stand up. And she'd say,
Nice underwear.
just kind of look around and say, "Odd night for a stroll."
That's why I'm wearing less.
I'm gonna sense that motive, Nate. Is it an odd night for a stroll, truly? Is she hiding that she's the one?
She seems to be more questioning your motives than declaring her own.
I would say I could say the same to you. I'd be looking back to see how far Abigail's gotten.
She's gotten about, at this point you were walking towards, so she's about 80 feet off from you at this point. And moving further by the moment.
Yep. I'd just say I thought you might have been the one taking the women.
she'd kind of lean past you for a moment as if to, look at the figure walking away. And she'd say, and they are...
I'd look like I had an idea. I'd say, I think some kind of magic was cast on her. If you can detect any trace of that on her, she might still have it on her. She might still have some of it on her.
She'd hang her head for a moment and say, I'm not really good at detecting magic. I just throw it.
Yes. That's my kind of caster.
I'd just say, well, I guess you're on the right track. I'd say she was coming this way talking about hearing a song and needing to go to her mistress.
She'd kind of nod and she'd point at the dirt and she'd say, I can't walk past this point.
I would say, what?
She'd kind of look to you and she'd go, okay. She'd stand up and she'd take steps forward like she's walking.
Okay.
And as you see her walk past the point, continue walking for a moment, as her body begins to blur and shift as if caught in a heat haze. And as it fades out, it reappears with her again walking, but this time toward you, seeming to appear at that point she pointed at.
Ah,
Find the cat.
is what I would say. And if she has not dug a line in the ground, I will do that with the backside of my axe.
She had not dug a line in the ground. As she'd come to, she'd blink for a moment and kind of look around, seeming to be adjusting to the new surroundings. And she'd say, see what I mean?
Nod. Getting close to work time, so my mentality is shifted.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, well, that'll save us the trouble of waiting for it to happen again. I'd say we have 7 people that are looking into this in our group. Say, but with this, I said we could be at this first thing in the morning if you want to join us.
She'd say, absolutely.
Good nod. I'd say, yep, I'd say that. I'd point at the fucking thing and I'd say, I'm not going to try and walk past that. I'm going to find my clothes and keep an eye on the gate.
And she'd say, gate?
I'd motion back to the town gate.
She would nod. And she'd say, well... she'd say... in order to... She'd kind of look past you, she'd say... So, she'd say, any idea how it was done?
From a distance.
Yeah, I'd just say from a distance. I'd say nobody was around in the entire path she took. The guards were stock still.
She'd kind of scratch her head and she'd say, yeah, that's definitely beyond me.
Wait, I know an animal.
She'd say, alright, well... She'd say, You had a companion that seemed to work at least a little bit more complex magic than I.
I'd nod. I'd say he would have a much better chance at understanding this.
She'd nod and say... She'd say, if the guards are disabled, perhaps you'd want some company at the gate?
I'd nod. Say yes. After paints.
She'd kind of smile for a moment, and she'd say, yes. Might be a better start. As she would motion for you to go first.
Yep. I need to go get my clothes first, so it's probably gonna be a small conversation with Abby.
Yep. And she would stop at the gate, kind of let you go get your shit.
Yep. Yep. Probably gonna be a small conversation with Abby. I'd basically tell her that there's a good chance that whatever's been taking the people in this town was about to happen to you. And I would even rub the part on her head and say, I'm really sorry about that.
Actually, she would thank you. In fact, when you'd get back, she'd be kind of sitting on her bed with her clothes on, and the sword just kind of laying in her lap.
I'd also say that if you're thinking of locking the door and putting the key somewhere you can't reach so you don't leave, don't. I'd say I was afraid you might leap from the window.
She'd nod.
And I tell her that me and a person who was out there who is not who's doing all this. Yeah, I'd just say, no, fuck that part. I'd just say I'm going to be keeping an eye on the gate. So if anybody tries to leave again,
she'd nod and she'd say, chances are she says, chances are I won't be getting back to sleep tonight. I've pulled all-nighters before. And she'd say, though not always with such vigorous exercise.
Heyo. Started
Shooting.
with one woman, ended with two.
As she
Holla, holla.
as she attempts to make humor.
I would let out a small laugh and nod. Or no, actually, I would just smile and nod. And yep, just pat on, just rub his shoulder. Just yep, that's right. Just be positive. That shit was scary. You almost got spirited away. So that's actually what that is.
So when do I meet the guy in the scary mask? No face.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fuck no.
Or is that just Chris?
Gonna go.
I hope not.
Gonna hide my weapons again. Fucking just take 10 on that shit.
Oh man, I could upgrade to first class.
And gonna go watch the gate. I imagine with Abigail too. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, she would probably just go to join you.
That's what I actually thought she was doing, but I get it. Yeah, actually, if she would be a bit on the fence about it, I'd say you could stick with us at the gate.
Yep, she would nod and say if I'm going to be up anyway. And she'd say if I came once, then no telling if it'll happen again.
No? Oh fuck, I gotta do one more bluff for the evening.
I don't got anything unusual going on my end, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I gotta do a bluff, Nate, whenever we meet back up with Oregon. And I've gotta, I mean, she saw the axe that the math guy was using, but I'm still gonna play it off. And I had it, but yeah, maybe I borrowed it. Maybe I borrowed his. And I would ask her that I didn't catch her name as I would introduce Abigail to her at the gate. Bluff. I know your name, ho.
Chris, you just have a ledger of like who knows what disguises and which person?
No, I have a good memory about it.
Yep. Anyway, she would kind of, she'd give you kind of a teasingly like, poor memory, huh?
Wait, what? Oh, fuck you.
As
Rolling with it.
yep. Because you bluffed like you forgot what her name was, right?
Well, yeah, because masked guy heard it at the fight, and then she vanished.
Mm-hmm.
No, he bluffed that he didn't know her name.
Yeah,
Like he never
Oh,
got.
okay, gotcha.
yeah. So I've never met her,
And-
Nate.
Ah.
Not before tonight.
Understood. Changing words. And she'd say, right. She'd say Morrigan.
God damn it! Compound bluff.
She'd say, though.
Yep.
She'd say, though some of my friends thought it a little too morbid, so they called me Morgana. Because the Morrigan is the Celtic goddess of death and fate. So,
I have to say, you look the part.
Well, it does look like fan art of Morgiana from Dragon Age, so.
Really does, especially that. Yeah, that it gotta be. Look at that necklace.
But I gonna do one more bluff, Nate. I swear it's the last. I would say my bodyguard had mentioned meeting you earlier today. Boop.
You're getting so much mileage out of that bluff skill, Chris.
That's the point.
I know, but
I used two
damn.
traits to buff it. That's really hard to do.
she would
Wait.
nod, and she would say that, yes. She'd say, one of the men who saved me. She'd say, give him my thanks if you see him before I do.
I'd say he'll likely be joining you and my companions in the morning.
She would nod.
That's it. I'm done.
Okay. Pick up then on.
I'm sorry for dragging it out with lies.
How dare you?
Okay, and then we'll drag that on. Drag that on. We'll pick that
Yes,
up on
I've got a
Tuesday.
sheet- I've got a sheet for you as soon as I can find the right thing.
Is it the invisible sheet thing that Joe linked? Or was that you
Uh,
linked it?
I have no idea what either of those are.
It's
so no.
basically the same thing as a spring-loaded sheet, but
Oh no, sheet.
oh sheet.
Yeah, an invisible sheath? What's that? I want to know. But no, there you go.
It's something you can make, so go look it up, bro.
There you go. Just go to the bluff tab. Here's how you get your bluff good.